それでは次にですね、実際の症例についても伺ってみたいと思うんですけれども、実際にどんな病気や問題にフォーカスしないということではあるんですけれども、きっと皆さんもどういった症例があるのかということも聞かれたいと思いますので、少し伺ってみたいと思います。Yeah, so kind of, example do you have?
Well, I can talk about one child I worked on in Austria, and it's a pretty famous case. This child was, I think, maybe 3 months old, and the child would cry and scream whenever it was awake. And the parents were going crazy. They had taken the child to many doctors, and they always asked the doctor what's wrong, and the doctor said nothing's wrong, the child's normal. But for some reason this child is screaming all day. There's something going on. And so someone had told them about me, and they came to visit me in Vienna, where I work. And they brought the child in, and I just noticed that the first vertebrae is called atlas, and the atlas was out of place. So I worked with the child once in the morning, and then they went home. And the next day we called them to see what was going on, and they said, well, nothing changed. So I said, please come to Vienna again. They lived outside of town, maybe an hour's drive from Vienna. And I said, so just please come to Vienna, plan to stay the day, and have a session in the morning and one in the afternoon. So they came, and I gave the child another session. And the session consisted mainly very, very light touch on the buttocks area and a little bit on the neck. And the child was, pretty much screaming and crying the whole time. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I said, okay, I was finished with this one, the second session, come back in the afternoon. Okay, so they came in back around 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I start, and the child is in the cart, and the child was going like smiling and looking around, and the mother was just amazed. The mother was just like, oh my God, what did you do? Something's different. And so from that point, the child just kept getting better and better. And I think I worked with this child a number of times, probably 5 or 6 times. And the child was really quite normal after that. But the last session was really amazing because the family lived together with grandma, grandpa, and a few aunts and uncles. It was a farm. So you can imagine the amount of disturbance a screaming child all day had in the house. So by the time I had done the last session with the child, it was mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother coming along to see what this strange man had done with this child to make it stop screaming. So, and they were all amazed. And now it's been almost 8 or 9 years, and I was in Austria visiting last year, and I got to meet the child again, and the child is now 8 years old. And the family is all very, very grateful and thankful that I was able to help them. And this story is repeated many, many times. So working with young children is one of the aspects of my work which I really enjoy, because I can help change a child's life from the very beginning. So I could even talk about what happened last night in Japan. I was working in Tokyo, basically working in Tokyo for the first time in the city. And there was groups of people that came through, and I could feel that there was a lot of sadness in the room. And so I started to touch people, and the tears started to flow just all around the room. It was just like people bouncing off each other, and just a lot of healing happened, a lot of breathing, a lot of feeling. And afterward there was just such a feeling of like a homey feeling, like people were relaxed. There was no pushing people away. It was like really open and friendly. It was a nice experience. And all I did was touch a few points along the spine and a little bit on the neck, and all this stuff came up. And these were people of all ages. It was some young adults, maybe in their 20s or 30s, and there was some actually an older woman who I think she's about 60 or so. I'm not sure how old she was, but she had an amazing experience. She just started doing spontaneous yoga and breathing and feeling, and she said after the session she just felt so alive. She felt so amazed, and she had no idea what I did, and she reacted very similarly that I've seen in many people around the world and also in Japan. And she was very happy. She was like dancing when she left the room. And I was also very happy to help her get to this point of aliveness.